Okay. All right, guys. Okay. Let me say this. All right, before we get into anything. Actually, hold on. Let me make sure. Okay, there's the chat. I was trying to make sure the chat was there. Um, yeah, guys. Hey, clan. Hello. Look, before we get into anything, I just want to say Mitch Johnson makes me so nervous. He makes me so nervous. I don't know why it took all of this in order for us to see more. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It took all of this just for us to see Mamu and Blake Wesley play a little bit more. Why did it take these amount of injuries? I don't quite understand it. Like I've said since the get, okay, these two are important to not only put on the court and allow them to get reps, but also it rests the other guys and it keeps leads to have people that are in the game, that are hungry and can implement our game plan, to a high degree, right? Blake Wesley, I don't see any reason for him not to have gotten any minutes, okay, over the myriad of months that have went by. And same with Mamu. I'm glad that he's getting his. They definitely deserve it, and we're seeing the benefits of it. Things happen for a reason. I don't understand not playing these players. I'm sorry. Blake Wesley was awesome on defense. Let me tell you something, okay? Blake Wesley, because I see the chatter says he was awesome on defense. Blake Wesley, the amount of hate, or I won't say hate, okay, that's too strong a word. The amount of pushback I got for saying that Blake should get more minutes is asinine, okay? We've seen enough of him on the court to know, excuse me, that he's at least serviceable, right? That he can go out there, play good defense. His facilitation skills are okay, right? But we already came to the conclusion that he's not going to be the future point guard. The Spurs have come to that conclusion, and I think that we can accept that. But the idea that he can't go out there and play, or he can't get any minutes, you can't get anything from him, is crazy. That's just crazy. And we've obviously seen that that's not true whatsoever. He's been awesome. Blake Wesley has been absolutely awesome, right? He has. Wesley's speed immediately pressures on opposing defenses. Exactly. Honestly, one thing that a lot of people aren't getting when it comes to Blake Wesley is that his play style, like how quick he is on the ball, right? And how fast he is coming down the court. I think that having De'Aaron Fox, the Spurs, the way that they go about their offense is going to change drastically over the next few years. And they're going to be a pretty quick team. Right now, we're kind of split between being a fast team and then going back to just doing half-court sets, and Chris Paul's on the court. But I think that we're going to be a pretty quick team. And I think he actually fits into that pretty well. Right? Not saying that he needs to eat into Castle's minutes or anything like that, but I do think that he's going to be he's viable. He's a viable piece to what we got going, going forward. And I don't see any reason not to have him part of that. Right? I just don't see it. Exactly. Imagine Fox and Wesley. The game would look like 2 times playback speed. Yeah, I think that he's really going to help. Energy was crazy in the stadium. Mamu chants, MVP chants. Yeah, that was insane. Yeah, that Mamu performance was absolutely insane. Our bro made NBA history. Did you see the Flavor Flav coming on the court? I completely forgot that he's a Spurs fan. Like, did anyone else remember that? I didn't. Okay, I didn't. Most random thing in the world to put him on the mic. But nonetheless, that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that was actually pretty cool. This is the record we should have had last season, clan. Where we at now? Did we get to 30 wins? He had a whole Spurs chain. That's crazy. The Flav Flav cameo was awesome. Yeah, that was random. That was so random. Sohan looks salty because his backup outshined him. Chandler, you just come in here with the worst takes imaginable. He was the main one. He was the main one cheering on our boy. What's sad is nobody will talk about this for long because it's Mamu and a Spurs player. Well, to be fair, news kind of comes and goes pretty quickly. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Isn't Flav from New York City though? I have no clue. I only know Flavor Flav from the Flav of Love. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's the only thing I know him from. I know he's a hype man. I know he's a career hype man. I know that he's influential in hip hop, and I probably should know more, but that's all I really know. I like that show. I like that show a lot. Mamu been a Spurs fan from a kid. I think we did know that. Chandler's just trying to trigger me. I'm not going to let it happen, though. Wesley stats don't really show his impact. Wesley let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. So Chatter says here, Wesley stats don't really show his impact. Wesley stats don't show the impact. A lot of times Sohan stats don't show the impact. These are players that when you look at advanced analytics, which we don't have a lot of advanced analytics on Wesley this season because he hasn't played, but you can definitely see through analytics how good they actually are. And let's just be real, the eye test as well. Like these two do a phenomenal job around the perimeter and holding things down. So yeah, Wesley brings a lot of energy, right? He comes out there, he plays hard, nonstop. You love to see it. Very quick player, puts a lot of pressure on the opposing team. He's awesome. He's good. He's good. Is he going to be a star? Probably not. But not everybody on the team has to be a star for them to be influential for what we got going, right? Bro, Wesley's performance won't look good if only look the stats. But look at him at the game. He's good. Yeah, you gotta, you know, Mamu over Sohan. This is not a Mamu versus Sohan debate. But if you want it to be, Sohan's better than Mamu, like easily, but Mamu's great. He had the hot hand. Still don't quite understand, like, the history making is a little bittersweet, right? The history making is a little bittersweet. Mamu inspired, yeah. All right. Here, let me go to. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So we just made history, or more importantly, our boy Mamu made history, and this is very bittersweet. It is extraordinarily bittersweet. It is ridiculously bittersweet. So our boy, 19 minutes, 34 points, missed one shot, went 7 for 7 from 3, had 9 rebounds, 3 assists. One of them was directly from how well he was shooting from the outside, because the Knicks were so concerned with it, closed in on him, passed it off to Sohan, a cutting Sohan, beautiful dunk for one of these assists. He made a mockery of the New York Knicks. Now, the reason why this is bittersweet is because, yes, he made history as far as being the only player with less than 20 minutes to score that amount of points. 34 points is quite insane. It's quite insane. And also, it helped keep the lead as well. Quite insane. But the bittersweetness for me is, why the heck did he only get 19 minutes? He was hot the entire time he was in the game. How did he only get 19 minutes? What is up? What is up with Miss Johnson? Miss Johnson. I cannot speak tonight. Sorry, I'm kind of sleepy. What is up with Miss Johnson, guys? Why did he only get 19 minutes? Seriously, that makes no sense. I do not get it. I don't get it. Play the hot hand? He's 13 for 4. He missed one shot tonight. He played he outplayed his peers by a huge margin. The only person close to his points this game was Steph Castle. That was the closest player, and he scored 12 less. How the heck? His plus minus was a plus 22. How the heck did he not play more? I don't get it. I don't understand that. 19 minutes is insane. 19 minutes is insane. Everyone else minutes were about what you expect, kind of, right? Like you probably could have afforded to lay off on some of our players. Like Devin Vassell probably could have laid off a little bit. Maybe Sohan, he didn't have to play nearly 40 minutes, even though his defense was awesome. You didn't have to, right? Like you could have laid off a little bit. And it's just weird. Our lineup's just weird. We finally get a starting lineup that makes sense, right? After forever, we finally get one that makes sense. And we definitely benefited from it, obviously. If you watch the game, we benefited from starting Sohan with Castle. It looked good. We set the tone early, right? And that's the most important thing for me, is that the Spurs haven't really set the tone going into these games. When the Knicks started to come back, however, Mamu definitely helped with that. And Blake Wesley helped with that as well. I just don't understand only 19 minutes. So that's the bittersweetness of it. But I won't, it's whatever. Made history nonetheless. This was a game that many Spurs fans are going to remember. I would put this in the category of how excited we were for the Lonnie Walker game, the Houston Rockets Lonnie Walker game, in which we sat back and we were like, this player could be something, right? But I actually do believe that Mamu has, I won't say that he's, like he has more potential than Lonnie Walker did or anything like that. But I will say that as far as him being a future piece, a future role player for this team, I think that this instilled a lot of confidence in us and a lot of confidence in the coaching staff as well. I can see Mamu having a pretty nice future with the Spurs, right? And we need to give kudos to our front office as well. Like a lot of times it's like this weird thing that goes on where we'll criticize the crap out of our front office, which power to you, right? But I'm a Cowboys fan, so I understand what a bad franchise actually looks like. But like we will criticize the crap out of them, but then just praise a player on our bench like Mamu and say, "Oh man, he's so great, he's so awesome." It's like, well, the Spurs do a very good job of getting talent, right? They do a very good job. So I think that we should praise it all the way around. Helping with his development as well. It's just a good situation we have ourselves in. We have some very low paying players that I think will outplay their contract easily, especially when we're a better team. And that is Champagnie, that is Mamu, and even Blake Wesley, right? I think that those are three players that I can think of right off the bat that's going to outplay their contract night in, night out. Easily, night in, night out. But anyways, also, I have to show this because this is hilarious. Flavor Flav. Shouting out our boy Mamu. This was a crazy game. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Hold on, let me make sure desktop audio's on.
Let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say, my man is on fire. Let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say, my man is on fire.
He is such a hype man. It's crazy. Can we just bring him to every game? Can we just do this every game? Just every game? Oh, Larry, thanks for the super chat, man. So proud of this team. I know many fans want lotto balls, but winning just feels better. Never tank. B-ball gods will reward us. Go Spurs, go Spurs family. I wouldn't say never tank. But winning does feel good. Winning does feel good. It always feels good to win. I was saying. But yeah. And he deserved it. He absolutely deserved it. But all right. Any other points you guys want to make about Mamu? I don't know if you recognize my name at this point, but I've been the biggest supporter of Mamu all year. He should have been playing small ball 5 or minutes of the 4 all year. This is Jaron. I do recognize your name. I didn't know that you were advocating for him continuously. I do recognize your name though. And I agree with you. I was never one that, like, we didn't go out of our way on this channel to, you know, make like independent segments for Mamu. He was a player that I always liked a lot, and I thought that he was someone that we were getting what we wanted out of Collins, right? Zach Collins, in which we needed a stretch big. That's what he was working on all summer long. But the only player on our team that could actually fit that role was Mamu. So I've always liked him. I always thought he played the right way. Like I continuously say, I think that Wembanyama most importantly needs high basketball IQ players, and Mamu's definitely one of those. So, you know, I'm happy for it. And I think that he definitely will be like a staple for us. Right? Doesn't mean he's untradeable. I won't go that far, but with his contract, guys, this is nice. Like, he will always outplay his contract. Champagny, I think, is another player that will. It's just nice. Yes, he cuts and screens the way Wemby likes. He plays perfectly with Wemby. He fits it. That's the only thing the Spurs, and I think, you know, even us fans are kind of looking at this point, like, who fits with Wemby, right? We have certain players on the team that kind of fit regardless of what team they would be on, right? They just kind of fit. Like, you could always find a use of them. But I think Mamu is one of those that just perfectly fits with Wemby, you know? Nice. Let's see. Do we have a interview yet? We do. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. I knew that they were going to interview him. Because I'm a genius. Not really. When do the Spurs play next? You guys know? Spurs. Please say Friday. Okay, Friday. Cool. All right, we can do a few segments then. Don't want to overlap segments, you know? I can't be having like 4 videos in a day. Don't want to confuse the people, you know what I mean? All right. I could have sworn somebody sent me a clip. Okay, let's just down a little bit. All right. Okay. All right, guys, we have to listen to Mamu speak because Mamu had a phenomenal game. He made history. Most points ever by a player under 20 minutes. This man had 34 points, 13 for 14 from the field, 7 for 7 from 3. Absolutely insane. Shout out to my boy Dom for actually sending this to me. This is dope. He was at the game. These are great seats, by the way. Look at that pass. Bang. Now, you knew I was going to be excited about that pass. You knew I was going to be excited about that pass. This is the type of pass where I say all the time, the point guard experiment definitely helped, okay? He sees the court much better. Sohan sees the court so much better. Mamu was on fire. This is insane. He started getting MVP chants. Yeah, that was history. That was 2 minutes left, so he had pretty sure he had history by that point. I don't know. The last minute, I feel like the last minute and a half, he still was going off. He was like, "What is going on?" I don't know. It's a night he'll always remember, and we're definitely gonna need that, you know, when we're actually a playoff team. Let's listen to what Mamu had to say about this game. 8 minutes of talking to him. He usually gives us a lot. Jaren says Sohan does see the court better now. That time he missed Barnes under the rim and turned it over killed me though. Yeah, it happens. It happens. We make mistakes. But yeah, he's a much better passer. That was always a strength of his, even throughout college. His passing ability, versatility, and offense. But it is definitely improved. I don't care what anyone says.
Look at this box score. It says you missed a shot.
Did I? I didn't miss a shot, did I?
I think you missed one. Just one.
I did?
When I was, but
I don't remember what it was.
That's what the announcer said too. I genuinely, I'll be honest with you guys, I genuinely don't remember a shot he missed. I genuinely don't think he missed a shot. They're just trying to make it fair, you know.
Damn, I thought that was perfect.
First player in NBA history to score 34 and under 20.
He got blocked. Oh, that shouldn't count. That's what happened. That doesn't count. He was fouled. They should call it as a foul, a missed foul.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that true?
Yes. That
Wow. Am I officially a scorer now? No.
Block shouldn't count.
I heard
For tonight, it shouldn't count.
Flav out there saying that he.
We know that we'll all be pretty upset if Wemby got like 20 blocks on Şengün and they didn't count that he missed those shots. We would all be upset. But for tonight, I think it shouldn't count.
Thinks that you did it for him. Is that correct?
I feel like I did it for my family, him, everybody who supports me. Man, I just can't explain how I feel right now. I feel like I'm in a dream. My dad was here. He flew in yesterday. My brother. So, you know, it just.
So in is still trash. Okay, Daryl. You should actually be a fan of another team. I think you should be a fan of another team.
Special night. And thanks to the guys and coaching staff and video guys who come in and work out with me every day. I just want to get this off. Like, just they're amazing. Every day at 8 a.m.
What does his tattoo mean? I see a tree, a basketball, and a tiger.
They're ready off days. They're ready to get me better. Coaching staff, the guys, you know, they're my family, and I appreciate them. And,
We know. I want to thank
thanks to
this
my family
person.
for
Thank
being here.
everyone.
Where exactly did your dad let it fly from, and when's the last time that they lost it?
I think my dad was here in December, but they flew in from New Jersey. My dad landed in New York 2 days ago, and they flew over here. And you know, I don't know, man. It's been
Basketball
hell of
is
a ride,
life.
you know?
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Up and down. It's just you know, just staying ready. I learned, and having faith and praying, and just believing in yourself is the main thing, you know. And that's what I learned today.
You've always, I guess, talked about on a number of different occasions at like the practice facility, just that idea that you never know when you're gonna get your chance, so you have to make the most out of those 3 or 4 minutes.
Is Flavor Flav in there? Like, what's going on?
Is this just one of those examples of that kind of mindset paying?
100%. I feel like everybody comes to me and tells me like, yo, there is a minute left, and we see you with like your face red, going hard, and you cannot waste the NBA minute. It's one of the.
This is very reminiscent of what we saw from Derek White, right? Like, I was a huge. I'm not advocating for Mamu to start, like I'm about to say, but I was a huge advocate for Derek White to start at the point guard position, like when he was getting no minutes whatsoever, and it was because in those limited minutes that he got, he played so hard. He plays smart. But that's the most important thing, though. He plays smart. Because there's a lot of players that get the opportunity in the garbage time, and they're just like, look at me, coach. Look at me. Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Right? But I didn't get that vibe from Derek White, nor did I get that vibe from Mamu. Mamu doesn't just jack up shots because he gets this opportunity. He makes sure it's the best available shot that he can have, or for his teammates. And, like, that's what I really like about him. He has basketball IQ, high basketball IQ all of the time. Right? He never jeopardizes team success, you know, for his own personal stats. Right? So if anybody on this team deserves this night, I think it will be Mamu.
The top players in the league, nothing is guaranteed, nothing is promised, and you
Exactly,
know,
Jaren. He doesn't try to get his numbers. He just plays Spurs basketball. These are good shots that he takes. Like he doesn't just try to stand out or show out, you know.
just the everyday grind. You got to go through a mental, physical. Just you know, sometimes you are out of rotation, sometimes you're in a rotation, sometimes you play at the end of the game. But you know, as soon as you put your head down, as soon as you feel defeated, that's, you know, when your days start to calm down. So, you know, as I said, like, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to establish myself. I'm trying to show everybody that I belong, and you know, I'll just keep taking strides towards that. And you know, I'm just so happy I have a support team behind me. I have my girl, my friends, my teammates, you know, my family, everybody, you know, and you know, it's just crazy.
Sorry, fellas. He has a girlfriend. He has a girlfriend, fellas. Sorry.
Tell the play story of how he would give you your ticket tonight.
Yeah, I know him for a long time. We got really close. I FaceTime him sometimes. We talk about stuff. You know, we went to New York last summer, and you know, he came to.
Oh, okay. Several tattoos, including a tree of life with basketball, which he says represents his basketball journey, and a tattoo of his childhood basketball court. Ah, okay, cool.
My first summer league. He was my financial advisor's friend, and then since then we just kicked it off. And you know, he was telling me, I'm gonna come out, and then it was his birthday 2 days ago, and he called me. He was like, for my birthday, I'm coming to San Antonio. So I was like, okay, not the you ain't gotta have fun that much, but you know, at least you gonna come to the game. So you know, I'm super happy he's here. We went to facility yesterday, had 2-on-2 with my cousin and my brother. We lost the first game. He got mad, and then I had to lock in. You know, so I feel like since yesterday I've been locked in. So it was fun.
So losing that game carried over to today.
Yeah. No, I won the second one. I couldn't tell, like, you know, Flav gonna go around and say, you know, I lost to Sandro's brother, and when I had Sandro on the team, that ain't gonna happen. So, you know, I locked in on the second game, and we won.
So, got a question already.
I just know how you feel about tonight. Little...
I feel great. I feel great. I feel happy. I don't know. Man, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. I manifested it, prayed for it, and just you know, I just waited for this day. And my rookie year, I think 28 was my career high. And I looked up, and I was like, I have 24. I'm so close. And I was like, please don't sub me out right now. I just got to get it.
Wow. Isn't that so sad? Please don't sub me out. He shouldn't have had under 20 minutes, guys. That's like the bittersweetness of this moment. He made history, but he made history because Mitch Johnson is ridiculous. Like, he should have had more than 19 minutes. Like, he had the hot hand all game long. Come on.
And it just worked out, and, you know, it was crazy. That's how I feel. Yeah. You know, 34 in the NBA. Woo, that's crazy.
He didn't play the entire third quarter and still balled out. Absolutely ridiculous.
In there, it looked like Christmas.
What? Flavor Flav has followed Mamu since he was with the Bucks and Knicks. Wait, really?
Kind of calling some action.
Yeah.
So what
100%. I feel like once I started knocking some shots down, I was hot, and he was like, every time now we go down the floor, you just come and set a screen, and we play from it. If they overplay, probably he has a drive, and then if they help, then I have a three, and it was going in. So I was like, I can keep shooting, you know. So, you know, he definitely looked for me, and you know, I was one rebound shy, but that's all right.
It was so nice. Look at that face. Look at his face. We're screenshotting this. That's going on the thumbnail. Anyways, I forgot what I was even gonna say. This face just messed me up. This face messed me up. I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm sorry, guys. I went blank. Never mind.
All right, that's all right.
The reaction from your teammates, you know, they subbed you out and continuing, like, what does that mean? How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's going on the thumbnail.
You know, my teammates know me the best. The person I am, and they see me work. They see me go through stuff. They are the ones who I can go ask for help, ask for advice. They are the ones who always have my back. So, you know, I feel like we would be happy for everybody, and I'm so grateful to have them around me, because even though when I'm going through some stuff, when I'm not playing, I can always go talk to them. And
insane that he got chance of MVP. That's kind of insane.
Each one of them going to give me a great advice, and I think the advice is going to be very different from each other. So, you know, I feel like, as I said, like, they're the...
What are you talking? Clan doing Mamu dirty because he outplays Sohan. I can care less who outplays Sohan statistically. I'm a Spurs fan. What? You know this? I'm not saying you did this particular, but like, people did the same thing with Derek White. Like, the exact same thing. Like, I would be so excited when Derek White has, you know, good games. I would cheer for him. He'd be one of my faves. And then, like, people would be like, aren't you upset that somebody else did? No, I'm a Spurs fan, dude. I'll always be a Spurs fan. If Sohan is gone, I'll be a Spurs fan. If Wemby's gone, I'll be a Spurs fan. I'm not going to follow Wemby throughout his career. I don't care. I don't care who has a good game. We won a game, dude. Lay off. Stop being weird. Lay off. So strange. You just didn't seem very happy? What are you... We just did. Hold on. We're 30 minutes into this stream and we already did like 3 segments on Mamu. What are you talking about? Trollers be trolling. They do be trolling. They do be trolling though.
The main guys who come in every day. I see them every single day. I fly with them. I eat with them. It's just the thing. Like as I said, I feel like we'll be happy for all of the guys if they had a game like this, and I'm just grateful to have them. And as I said, they always believe in me. Like for example, Drew. Like every time I don't shoot the ball, I come out. He tells me like, "Oh, you are open. What are you doing? You work on the shot."
Drew. Jew? Who's he talking about? Champagny? Did he say Drew? I think he's talking about Champagny.
And everybody else, and I just don't want to make sure. I want to make sure the video guys don't go unnoticed because I was not in a rotation for a long time, and they stayed after every shoot around, every day off, every morning. They were there and they were pushing me to be better, and they're the real guys that helped me to.
Now you got to consistently do this. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You just need more minutes. I'm getting tired of this nonsense. Give him more minutes. If he has the high hand, give him minutes.
The performance how I had.
Do you listen to everything that Julian Champagny says?
Not really. Not really. Sometimes I listen. Sometimes I don't. It depends. But yeah, thank you guys.
Had you ever heard MVP chants on the arena before?
Bro, that was crazy. I heard it in Georgia.
The MVP
Never in the States. So I was like, what is going on right now? Like, I really had an out-of-body experience for a little bit there. I was like, is this really happening? Like, when you kind of want to believe it so bad, but it's like, what is happening right now? Like, but as I said, like, once it sinks in and you're like, okay, like, I really worked for this and it's happening. And it was an unbelievable feeling. Thank you.
Spurs fans really love him. They really love him. It definitely helps that Mamu sounds like Manu. That really helps. I'm sorry, guys. That does a lot of the heavy lifting. But Spurs fans has always liked him because of his IQ. Like he obviously plays very smart basketball, and Spurs fans like that most of the time. Most of the time they like that. Sometimes Spurs fans are pretty dumb with players that are high IQ. They can be pretty dumb about it.
To the Spurs fans, and they're the best. They come out every night, support us, no matter what. They're incredible. So thank you to everyone who supports me, who doesn't support me. It don't matter. Like, we're a Spurs family. We appreciate you, and go Spurs, go.
Sandy!
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Who said that? All right, that was nice. That was nice to see. That made me happy. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I'll let chat decide, okay? Because we're gonna do one more segment. Chris Paul or Mitch Johnson? Who would you rather hear from? Chris Paul or Mitch Johnson? Chris, CP3, Chris, CP3, Cliff Paul, CP3, Chris, I heard Mitch, insurance guy. Okay. All right. Let's listen to the insurance guy. Neither? No, we got to listen to one of them. All right, we'll listen to Chris Paul. See what he has to say.
Chris, you've often talked about the guys in this locker room.
That is one nice sweater. You can just tell that the stitching is this is an expensive sweater. You can just tell by looking at it. I really like it. I want it. I can't afford it, but I want it.
Being, quote unquote good guys or competitive players, is it always rewarding for locker rooms and teams to see someone like Mamu have a game like this?
Yeah, I think that was really good. Mamu's
This is Cliff Paul right here? I thought we were talking to Chris Paul. I guess this is Cliff Paul.
Amazing teammate. He comes in, works hard every day, cheers guys on, always in a good mood, good attitude. And so I think that was reflective
These
of
glasses.
our bench tonight and the guys to see him have a career night like that.
He said in the fourth quarter you were.
He is always positive. Two players that are always like crazy energy is him and Devin Vassell, especially in press conferences. It's like, oh my god, oh my goodness, these guys are so hyper right now. What did you take before this?
Telling him, just come out and set a screen and we'll get something going.
Not
Yeah,
KJ. No, not KJ in press conferences. KJ in the middle of games and maybe like when we see him off the court sometimes, but not like not press conferences. I feel like Devin Vassell and Mamu are the ones that bring the most energy. Right, Mamu, I enjoy his press conferences the most. And then I would say, dang, who would I say second? Maybe Wemby. But as far as like bringing energy, it's definitely those two in press conferences. KJ can be a little low energy sometimes in his press conferences. Okay, you're talking press conference. Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't play for a while and sort of know the art of getting guys shots. You know, especially somebody like Mamu, who is a hard player. He's not necessarily a guy that's ISO situations and stuff like that. So when he's shooting the ball like that, you just try to find a guy.
Clan, I was laughing hard in the fourth quarter. 10 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Champagny missed a three-pointer, bounced off a Knicks player's face, and Mamu tracked the ball down and passed to Catso for a three-pointer. It's just one of those nights, man.
At what point does it go from, this guy's having a pretty good night shooting and like it turns into we need to get him the ball?
KJ do be nonchalant. Yeah, sometimes.
Possession of the game.
I mean, I didn't know how many points he had or anything like that. I'm more so paying attention to the clock, the game. At the end of the day, the focus is to win the game, But once it got to about 2.5, 3 minutes, and I saw that we, every time we got to stop, it's like, okay, game management, so we can get him a shot. The first priority is always win the game.
Blake Wesley's a guy that had another impact on the game tonight.
Oh, cool. They're going to mention Blake Wesley. He should get more minutes.
What have you seen from him to this point of the season, being in and out of the rotation?
Yeah, I talked to Blake a lot just about we got a lot of guys who playing a lot of minutes that probably hadn't played most of the season. But opportunity is everything, but just also I try to tell the guys that playing hard is a talent. It is a real talent. I think people take that for granted. And so Blake's ability to pick the ball up full court, every time they missed or made it, he pushed the ball up the court, so making sure he makes himself an offensive threat. And just a lot of times if you play hard, good things are going to happen.
Mitch talked about...
That's the main reason Luka Samanic didn't last with San Antonio. Like, rumor has it, okay, this isn't a rumor, I actually know this for a fact, that the team actually went to the coaching staff and said they didn't really want to play with him. They didn't feel like he played hard. They didn't feel like Luka played hard. That's why Luka got moved. That's a big reason.
The third quarter and the response to the run that
Flav at the end was random, very random, but worth it.
That New York went on. What were you seeing from your vantage point in the way that you all were able to sort of keep them at bay after they went on a run?
That's a really good team over there. Obviously, they're a different team without Jalen, but we made some really timely shots. I think Mamu kept doing it.
Luka Samanic has so much potential. I'll be real with you. Like, I thought that too. But the back of my mind was always like, how good is he going to be? Like, we did a lot of videos back then, like talking about Luka. But it was just always kind of strange with it. It was the effort. It really did come down to the effort, I think.
He kept hitting the shot. They was going on a run, and when you've been in games like that, it's like sometimes you're like, okay, we just need one shot to go in to take a deep breath, and we had guys make those type of shots.
It's obviously been a tough season, but has it been sort of rewarding seeing these young players develop and sort of being in that locker room?
Yeah, it's always nice to try to see guys in their process and just trying to teach them all the NBA is about margins, right? Just like with anything, is the details. Everything is, when you watch games night in and night out, The elite teams in this league, the last 5 minutes of the game, it's a different game. You know, the shot.
That is so true. That's why I get nervous if it's a close game. We're going against a really great team. Like once it gets to the fourth, like those games. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Like those games where the Spurs are playing probably the best they could possibly be playing, and we're only up by like 2 to 5 points or whatnot, and then we go into the fourth quarter. I'm always super nervous because I'm like, oh, they're about to turn it up a notch on you.
That you take.
And we used to do that. We used to do that all the time. You didn't want to keep the old Spurs in a game. You didn't want to keep us in a game.
The defense that you play, everything is different. And when you learn that and you start to understand that, it makes you a better team.
You've hit a lot of milestones in your career. For a player like Sandro, kind of get his first one or hear his first MVP chance.
I miss those times, man.
What's that like for a player when they're first starting out?
Oh, it's got to be great. It's got to be great for Mamu. Like I said,
Mitch Johnson lost his mind like Kanye. He didn't lose his mind that bad. Oh my goodness.
A guy like that to put the work in and day out. He's in the gym. He's in the gym late at night. You know, I was eating dinner. I forgot what night it was. At the Spurs club, and I looked down on the court, and Mamu's out there shooting. You know, he's out there working out. And so, and then he had Flavor Flav here at the game too, so that didn't hurt for him. But it's always good to see something like that happen to a good person like him.
Thank you, Chris.
No doubt. Yep.
Man, I still go back to that time that he bought his dad that car. That was a nice video. You guys want to see that real quick? Mamu. This dude Clan, the Spurs fan. Don't want to pat my own back here, but I'm pretty sure we gotta. Let's see, we gotta have that clip, right? See, people that said that I don't talk about Mamu. I got a few videos of him. You see, had a lot to say about Wemby and Pop. Mamu had a lot to say about Wemby. Mamu was created for the Spurs. Chat wants Mamu over Collins. What was that video called? Pulled a DJ, maybe? Oops. I know I got this video. Oh, I look like I'm crazy right there. Lay off of DJ. Look at me. I was protecting DJ back in the day. Let's see. Say DeJounte. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna say this, and I think I got it right. Okay, Sandro. I kind of like this camera angle. All right, let's see. There we go. Oh wait, this is when. Yeah, this is when DJ gave his dad. Remember when we had beef with his dad on this channel? That was a weird back and forth when he got his dad a car, and then we have this TMZ clip. Oh, no sound? No sound on this one. Ooh, that's ew. And this is the new car. Beautiful. Yeah, so he hooked his dad up, which is really sweet of him, really nice of him. Because as you guys know, that is a nice car. He got a $2 million deal. And also, one thing about his dad that a lot of people don't know is that he was dealing with cancer. Actually, not that long ago. I think. All right. Well, there you go. Clan just gave us a little bit of information. Isn't that nice, though? Isn't that sweet? That's sweet. Anyways, shout out to Chris Paul. Good interview, I guess. Pretty good stuff. All right, guys. So look. Spurs play in a couple days. I'm gonna hop off. All right. I haven't eaten any dinner, so I'm gonna do that. Whose dad died? His dad didn't die. The Mamu's dad was dealing with cancer at some point. Okay. I'm gonna hop off. I appreciate all the love. We are going to go back live on Friday. I'll have these videos uploaded, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, I will get with you guys later, okay? Everyone have a good night. I'm hopping off. We've been on for almost an hour. So yeah, hope you guys have a good night. Get some grub, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. And if you missed anything in this live stream, I'll upload the segments. And I'll also upload smaller segments on Instagram. So look out for those two. I'm gonna start doing that more often.